Waverly shows its true colors during Heritage Days.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump continue to battle for the Oval Office.
And Warburg hosted its first ever Powder Puff football game during homecoming week. This is Cedar Valley Today. Good morning and welcome to Cedar Valley Today. I'm Kaylin Thompson.
And I'm Dan Kittle. Waverly Heritage Days has become more popular through social media. Darwin Ritkers, co-chair, said the Waverly Heritage Days started 30 years ago as a one-day parade. It is now the third weekend of July with live concerts, children's activities, and other various activities. The goal is to promote the heritage of the town. This year, they're hosting the Glow Run and the Halloween party on October 29th.
Like people to be aware of what Heritage Days is. And we're also doing, it's our fundraiser so that we can hopefully make more money for next year's Heritage Days because it does cost a lot to put that whole weekend together. So we really want to make sure that we have the funds to make it bigger and better each year.
With less than a month until the election, political candidates and their campaigns are in full swing. The 2016 election is no longer just Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton. On Monday, House Speaker Paul Ryan told House Republicans he is going to focus on preserving Republicans' hold on Congress. He said he will no longer defend the Republican nominee, and Donald Trump is hitting back at the GOP. Diane Gallagher has the latest on today's Republican infighting and what the impact might be on the election.
Donald Trump is a free man. That's at least according to Trump himself, who shot off a series of tweets Tuesday, including this one. Quote, "It is so nice that the shackles have been taken off me and I can now fight for America the way I want to." Trump fired off roughly half a dozen tweets attacking the GOP, calling them disloyal, and the party leader, Paul Ryan, referring to him as weak and ineffective just one day after the House Speaker said he'd no longer defend or campaign for Trump, Ryan telling others in Congress to do what's best for them. And while dozens of Republicans are jumping ship,
when Mr. Trump attacks women and demeans the women in our nation and in our society, that is a point where I just have to part company.
others are sticking with Trump.
If we're going to move a conservative Republican platform agenda, the best way to do that's with President Trump.
But some are worried about the scorched earth civil war strategy he seems to be embracing.
His fight is not with them. His fight is with Hillary Clinton, and that's the message that he's got to continue to embrace.
Meanwhile, as new polls show his numbers dropping, Trump, both online and in person, appears to be trying to set a new narrative for his supporters.
And we have to make sure that this election is not stolen from us and is not taken away from us.
In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
As of today, Donald Trump and his supporters do not have any plans to visit the Cedar Valley in the upcoming days.
Clinton supporters and those interested in learning more about her campaign will have some chances today. Former Texas State Senator Wendy Davis will be speaking on Wartburg's campus at 4 p.m. in the White House Business Center, room 214. Senator Davis is known for standing and speaking for 11 hours on the Texas Senate floor to prevent a restrictive abortion bill from passing. Davis will speak about 15 minutes, will answer some questions, and meet people after the event. Former President Bill Clinton will be in Waterloo tonight to campaign for his wife. Doors open at 5:45 for the event in the Ag Building on the National Cattle Congress. The event starts at 6:45 p.m.
And after the break, Wartburg sports are keeping busy during homecoming week. Stay with us.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Many Wartburg College sports teams were in action this week. Wartburg men's soccer played Loras College last night on their home field. Sophomore Ben Johnson had Wartburg's only goal for the game with an assist from Ayo Adeboye. The Knights lost to Loras 2-1. The Orange and Black are now 8-5-1 overall and 2-2 in the Iowa Conference.
The volleyball team also played against the Loras Jayhawks last night. The Knights came out ahead, winning the match 3-1. Top players were Lizzie Blau with 12 kills and Aaron Jones with 11 kills. Another key player was Catherine Nasby with 25 digs and 2 service aces. Wartburg is now 15-5 overall and 4-1 in the Iowa rankings. The Knights play Central College at the end of the next week.
Wartburg College had its first ever powder puff football game yesterday. 40 girls signed up for the game, and there were 2 teams, upperclassmen versus underclassmen. Wartburg College's intramurals helped out, providing jerseys, flags, and of course, the football. The homecoming committee hopes adding this new element to homecoming week will get more students involved.
So we're actually hoping to make it more like a game, have people come and spectate and have it be kind of like a football game that has jerseys that are numbered, and girls have referees that actually know the rules and all that kind of stuff. So
when we come back, we'll take a look at what's trending on social media. Trending in the Cedar Valley. Wartburg College students showed school spirit by shining their armor during homecoming week. Students and campus organizations painted windows like the one showed here. Today is the final day to pre-register online at wartburg.edu/homecoming. Homecoming weekend kicks off Thursday with Castle Capers. The Hartman Reserve Nature Center broke ground on a new interpretive center. The Greater Cedar Valley Alliance and Chamber says the remodeled center will provide a welcoming, accessible space for people of all ages. You can learn more about this project at hartmanreserve.org. Waterloo West has been named this week's Class 4A Team of the Week. The team played Cedar Falls last week, defeating them 21-14. The Warhawks currently have an undefeated record, both in their district and overall for this year's season. This week, Waterloo West takes on Mason City at home with their JV game starting at 5 p.m. Now, let's take a look at your local weather.
Calls me googly eyes.
You know you're beautiful, right? You know that?
Even you are beautiful. I got bullied for wearing glasses. Share if you're against bullying.
We put it out there, just took off. 3 million people have shared this post. Don't let bullies get you down. I stand with you. The whole family's wearing glasses. I wear glasses and I'm proud.
I even have the army on my team.
All the kind comments brought my child joy. I don't feel thank you is enough.
Next.
This week on Wellness Wednesday, we'll be discussing meeting and eating, and especially during job interview meals. joining us to tell us more is speaker and educator Luann Alamea. So thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Kaylin, as always.
So I guess just to get started, what goes into the preparation?
Well, obviously, the obvious thing is for you to check out the business corporation online so that you have questions ready, especially if they're going to take you out for that interview meal, so that you're ready and prepared. And something that we don't think about is that it's not about the food. They're doing that as a gracious tactic. And so you probably, if you're planning on eating lunch, I wouldn't plan on it. You really probably should eat some food prior to it, because there's going to be so many questions that you probably aren't going to have time to finish it, only take a few bites. And so it's really part of your preparation to do research on them, have some questions prepared for them, such as, what are you expecting of this new role? What are going to be some of the challenges you think that I might face? But just be prepared that this isn't going to be your lunch or your dinner.
Okay, so with that, I guess what are some do's and don'ts of food to order and what not to order?
I'm so glad you asked this, because all eyes are going to be on you. And one of the tricks about dining etiquette is because there's so many things that are going on, so many tasks that are going on. The employer a lot of times will think you can finesse yourself around all those tasks of eating, drinking, talking, wiping your mouth, taking a drink, that you're probably going to be pretty efficient on other things too. And so you want to choose those foods that are knife and fork foods. I would never ever suggest something that's a pickup food, such as a burger, because then you have to cut it. You would never want to pick up a burger whole, but I never would order it anyway. The juices can run down your arm. You're constantly wiping anything that you pick up with your hands. French fries, any of those things. So knife and fork food. Could be a salad, could be chicken, fish, a chop, something like that. But knife and fork food, vegetables that you're going to pick up, but never food that you pick up. The other thing I would suggest is no long pasta. So if it's a penne pasta or a rigatoni pasta or something that's short, fine, but not anything that you have to wind and twirl and things like that. The other food I would suggest staying away from is, and it's a Midwestern favorite, is corn on the cob.
Right.
It's just a really difficult food to eat, gets in your teeth, and it's just not a very gracious food to eat. Great on a picnic, but not for a job interview meal.
To avoid the messiness. So with that, I guess, the place setting, how would one go about maneuvering that?
Well, that's the tricky one, and I facilitate those kinds of dinners and events all the time. And what I always tell people is start from the outside in. It is very overwhelming, but if they would serve you soup, you take a look at the place setting. Now, obviously, you're not going to use a fork, so you take a look at the spoon side, and whichever spoon is on the outside, that's the spoon that you would use for that particular course. And then once that's used, then you work in again to the next piece of silverware or flatware, depending on what it is that they serve you. So that's just kind of a general basic rule, is to start from the outside in. It can still be tricky. And the other tip I give is watch your host. Do what they do.
Sure. That makes sense. But then I guess at the conclusion, always thank the interviewer, right? Just quickly.
Oh, absolutely. Thank them. And then the other thing I would do is, if the position is going to be filled right away, you need to send a couple of thank yous. And if they're going to fill it right away, send the email thank you right away, but always follow up with that hard copy thank you. Find out their name, get their business card before the end of the meal, and make sure that you correctly spell their name.
Yes.
And write that hard copy thank you. Even if they get it days after the interview, you never know what position could come up.
Right. So thank you is key.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You'll be one up on everyone else.
Awesome. So make sure you get that thank you and avoid those messy dishes with that. Make sure they're kind of a forkable food.
Fork and knife food that
Okay.
you have to use the knife and the fork to pick it up with, and not your hands.
Awesome. Well, we just want to thank you so much for coming in today.
Oh, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you for Dan, the Dean Kittle, coming in and helping anchor. I want to remind you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great day, Cedar Valley.